welcome to In Hindsight. I'm your host, Day,
And I'm Vivek.
and also Octo and Retail, where we showcase local New Mexico events. We also talk about hot topics and also, are you the a-hole? And this week, I actually went to Isleta for the first time. Yeah, so my friend scored some tickets for lawn tickets for the concert for the Cure. That was like the sold out concert.
Nice.
So, but like she posted it on Facebook and like nobody wanted to go because it's on a Tuesday. But that's the thing is just like, I think like, I don't understand why they will have like, concerts in the weekdays.
Yeah, I mean,
But what she told me is that because like the reason like if you're like living in a town where the days are and the weekdays, it's like we're like on the way. So like I guess like we're on the way to like either like Arizona or Denver or like a bigger
or
venue.
like Dallas too.
Yeah. So like they would do like the smaller venue on the weekdays and then they will do the big
Bigger venue, of
venues on
course.
the weekends, like the Friday,
makes
Saturday,
sense.
Sunday kind of thing.
That makes sense.
So I think that kind of, yeah, that it does make sense. But like I never like it was like a pretty big area. But it was like I really like how they set it up. So they have like the like obviously like the nice
The
seats, like the
stage, yeah.
VIP seats and
Yeah.
the stage seat. And then there's like a walkway and then like the next seat and then
Okay.
the lawn seats, but they're kind of like up there like kind of like on a hill.
Yeah.
So honestly, like I think that the lawn tickets, I remember she said like the lawn tickets, it doesn't matter what event it is only $25.
Oh,
But like I
that's
feel like that's like a
It's a
real,
good-
it's a
yeah,
good
it's a
deal.
good
It's a
deal,
steal.
yeah.
I mean, you have to go like really early, of course, because you gotta set up your blanket and stuff.
Yes.
There is no cover, so I was surprised about that because it did rain for like a little bit. Because she did tell me this like bring a poncho or an umbrella or something. But like we did bring a poncho and it did rain for like a little bit because like they only
It's an
cover.
open air
Yeah,
venue, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So, but that was like really cool because like the setup was really nice and like it's like it is an 80s band. I'm not quite sure if you know them that well, but they're more like a very goth, like kind of punk kind of thing. So, but like we were like so close that like they actually let us take pictures right where the stage is. She was kind of annoyed because she felt like for the opening acts we should be able to like go in front of the stage because she's
and
like
be
if-
the opening act.
yeah, because she's like, well, it's the opening act, it's not like the real band, so they should let us. And I'm just like, I think the reason they're paid like those little green bracelets for VIP for a reason is so that, because like I think they only allow the first and two seats, like they have like the gray chairs, to be like in the actual stage. But like they were very, very diligent because like people were like trying to like go, but like I think also it's like also like fire hazard because like people would kind
yeah,
of like block like the side,
exits, yeah.
you know what I mean? Because like you can't really block those sides, but
Yeah.
like they let you kind of like stand on the side of the seats,
Okay.
but you can't like they can't have like people
Yeah,
there.
because like in any public setting, you want to be able to have everybody safe and enjoy and all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like she was kind of annoyed because she was just like, I just wanted to be like in the front, and I'm just like, they're just doing their job.
That's a good job.
you know.
Yes, yes.
But like it was like a really really cool setup because I think like there's a couple of acts that are coming up. I think like she said like Smashing Pumpkins are coming. I feel like it's like the 80s, 90s, 2000
That's
like
the-
retro comeback kind of thing. So that's kind of cute. So but like I think now that I know how the setup is for the place, I think I'm gonna try to get like lawn tickets because things like my husband doesn't like general admission tickets because he's too tall. So people don't like him because he ends up blocking people. Because I'm short, I'm 4'11", so I get to kind of just like be there kind of thing, and I can kind of like squish myself. But then he's so tall, he's like 6'1", so people were like trying to push him out, that kind of thing, and
Yeah.
elbow him and stuff. And he's like, I hate this. We need to get seats. But I think if we're on the lawn, because like we'll have
Because
like
it's raised, so
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
and we'll have like our own little blanket kind of thing. So I
How
think
romantic.
yeah, exactly. So we kind of like it's kind of nice because like you have like your own little spot, but you have to come like early, and it's
Okay.
like it's really cool too because like the band, The Cure, stipulated under contract that like people can't resell their tickets higher than the face value.
That's great.
I know,
great,
and I'm
yeah.
like, I didn't know such thing existed
Yeah.
because I really wanted to go to a Taylor Swift concert, but like I just cannot justify the price. It's just so expensive. Because I told my husband, it's just like, can I just like go to the Taylor Swift concert? And he's like, well, I'm coming with you. I'm like, we cannot afford it.
Oh.
I think I can only go by myself. Because like they're like so expensive right now.
Yeah.
Like literally, like they go up towards so like $10,000, and they're not even the VIP tickets. They're just like the regular tickets. Because people like I heard that like people are actually just going to the stadium and just camping outside of the stadium. So like just to listen to like the concert,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, that's insane.
That is insane.
That is really insane.
That
So,
is
but
insane.
like, but yeah, the fact that like you can, because like she got lawn tickets, which is like $25. She was
Yeah.
like, well, you know, it's like $50, but like nobody wants to come with me because it's on a Tuesday. And then like that day, she saw like 2 tickets open up, but it was face value.
So
And
then she could, yeah.
yeah, so she
Yeah.
she got him like a very fairly reasonable price because it was a sold out concert. So whoever that person is that couldn't get out of work, thank you.
So I was going to say, like, so I want to tell our viewers about a different event, but not local, where the admission is free, and it's not one artist. You'll have like 40 different groups are confirmed already.
Whoa.
So it's called the World Culture Festival.
Oh, okay.
It's happening at the National Mall in Washington, D.C. at the end of September. So it's 3 days, September 29th, 30th, October 1st. And the invitation from the mayor of Washington, D.C. was just yesterday. I want to say yesterday or day before yesterday. Friday, yesterday, yeah. And so this is the 4th edition of this festival. And the first one was in India. The second one was in Berlin at the Olympic Stadium. The third one was also in India, and this is the 4th one. And I've been to all 3, and it's
Oh my God.
amazing. It's really amazing.
So like,
Yeah.
how does it work? Is it just like an open area, or do you have to have an invitation?
No, it's open to public. It's
okay.
open to the public. So the idea behind the festival is, if you look at the world right now, right, there is so much division, right? It's like
Yeah.
people are not getting along with each other. There's all of this going on. And there are literally just, or not literally, but there are 2 main things that bring people together. So one is sports, right? We all forget about our differences when it comes
Yes,
to
for sure.
supporting a team,
Team.
right? And the second is culture,
Yeah.
right? And for sports, we have big events and we have the Olympics and things like that. So this is more like a cultural Olympics. So people from all over the world, from all different countries will come together, heads of states, political leaders, religious leaders. So they'll have their thing, and then artists will perform. And so for example, there'll be like 1,000-person Chinese choir, okay? There's 1,000-person guitar ensemble that's going to happen. So different events like that.
So is it like, for those 3 days, they just like have an all-day event kind of thing?
That I'm not sure. It might just be the evenings. So
Oh, okay.
that I don't know. Because I know, yeah, all the other 3 that have happened so far, they were mostly in the evenings. Right? So during the day they would have events for like the political leaders or the business leaders, but that's off on some other venue.
Okay.
But the one that's open for the public is evenings, 3 or 4 hours each evening.
Okay. So like, and is it like different stages? Because you know how like they have like the summer. I don't know if you've been to the summer fest here.
I've not been, no.
So they have like.
This is slipping.
Oh no.
Slipping from that side.
Oh, okay. So the summer fest here is that they have different stages.
Okay.
This is a really cool thing that's gonna happen this summer.
Okay.
So they have like 3 to 4 stages. They close the like the downtown Central Park.
Okay.
Like where the restaurants is and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
and they have like 4 stages, and you get to decide,
Or which one you want to go
yeah,
to.
which one you want to go to.
Yeah, so the last one that happened in India, they had a single stage. And
Oh,
that
okay.
single stage was, I don't know, like 4 or 5 football field large. It was really huge.
Oh wow!
And yeah, it was a single event at a time. So
Was it like a lot of people that actually came?
in India, the last one was 3.75 million people, about that much.
Wow.
The one in DC, I'm thinking maybe like 200,000 people or so, 250,000 people, something like that.
So are you gonna go for the
I'm
one
gonna
in
go.
September?
Yeah, of course, of course.
I might like I have to think about it. I'm like I've just been so traveling so much. Like I need a budget. You know, the kind of thing.
So
So
it's free to attend. You can just like if you go online, it's worldculturefest.org.
worldculturefest.org. I mean, even if like you said like they do it every year, so like they change.
It's not every year. So this is the fourth one. The first one was in 2006, and then there was 2011, I think, and then the last one was 2016, something like that. It's been about 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years. Okay.
Yeah,
So
maybe
kind of
4
like an
5 years.
Olympics kind of thing.
Kind of like Olympics. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It'll bring people together. I think that's what is most important.
Yeah, I think so. It's just like I'm kind of jealous because like my sister just came back from vacation, so like she went to the Philippines and Korea, and she just like gorged herself out of food because she's like, yeah, I love Korea. There's so many markets.
Yes.
And
Yes,
it's just
yes.
like that's the thing. It's just like food is so accessible and so cheap in Asia.
In Asia, yes.
And it's just like I do miss that. So she's like, just go.
Oh.
Go this summer. And I'm like, your children is coming this summer. I can't go. You're bringing your children here. Like, there's not going to be anyone here when they come. So, but I think like it's also interesting because like there is a lot of things that are going to be happening for New Mexico events and stuff.
Yes,
So
yes.
I think I'm excited to see like definitely like the Summerfest because I really like it. And the thing that like I like about Isleta too is like they had food trucks also
Nice.
inside the Isleta. So they had their usual like stalls, like obviously the Isleta thing, but they like allowed like different
different food
yeah
trucks to
different
come
food
in.
trucks. So like
That's
you're not
nice.
so
you
like
have a variety kind of thing.
yeah, I mean it was expensive, but
Oh, really?
but I think it's like anytime you go to like a stadium concert type event, you're always gonna be
Yes.
price gouge a
course.
little bit.
A
Like,
little bit.
just like when you go to the movies and you're like, why is popcorn like $15? Like this cannot be that expensive outside of the movie theater kind of thing. So,
Yes,
but yeah,
yes.
so. And speaking of like events and stuff, I think like the hot topic that we're going to talk about today is like, I don't know if you follow the Met Gala.
I don't know. Tell me more.
So the Met Gala
Oh, the
is
Met
like
Gala.
the
Yeah,
Met
yeah.
Gala
I've
that
heard
they
about
did this
that,
year. I don't know if you actually followed it. So
I didn't follow, but I heard comments about it, like how people were dressed up and whatnot.
yeah.
I saw some comments about
So this year they decided to honor Karl Lagerfeld. I'm probably not pronouncing his name right, but he's a very renowned, like obviously fashion person. Like
Okay.
he's created like designs for like Chanel and all the big major brands and everything. And of course like celebrities came out. Some people said it was like a little bit boring because usually it's more like a crazy theme than
see.
like a person.
Okay.
But like I mean there's gonna be people that like dress up fairly crazy. So like I guess he has a cat, so a couple of people dress up like as a cat. Like so Jared Leto had like a whole like furry cat costume.
I think I saw some pictures. The
Yeah,
other day.
and Doja Cat had like a face like cat, with the ears and everything. And so of course like some people are gonna be like kind of dressed up a little bit crazy and stuff. But I think like one of the main thing that people are talking about, especially now that it is like, Me Too and like kind of like, it's definitely like we're in that transition now, right?
Yes,
Of like kind of letting people, not allowed certain behaviors kind of thing. So I guess, so like from like his interviews and like the things that he's said and done, like he was very homophobic. He was very fat phobic. So like he had said things like, that's like, fat people has no business, like, in fashion or like, you're supposed to be like a certain size kind of thing. And he was a little bit racist also. So there was like a little bit of that. And like some people do have this thing of like, it's like an accountability kind of thing, right? So they feel like he wasn't the only fashion person that are very well known. I mean, there's a lot of people. Obviously, fashion is so
It's
big.
a big industry, yeah.
Yeah. So people are like saying, it's just like, why are we honoring a person?
Who stands for values that we don't believe in. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's
So I think we've had like a topic on this before on like where do artistic right? Like
Yeah, we've talked about it in the past.
so like
Yes, yes.
that kind of thing is
Yeah.
like, where does it not just like blur the lines, but like do you excuse certain behaviors in the name of art, kind of thing, right? Because if you think about it, fashion does have like that. It does transcends to art a little bit.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
So I think there's a fine line, right? Because if that belief of yours is impacting other people and is preventing other people from succeeding in their careers, which in this case I would imagine it is, I don't think that that's acceptable.
yeah.
Right? I don't think that's acceptable. Okay, if you personally believe in your life, whatever you believe in, it's a free country, right? But when it comes to professional behavior, when it comes to working with other people, if you have that mindset and you go with that mindset, everybody suffers, right? Because just because the person who's in charge is, let's say, fat phobic, does that mean that now the whole world gets to miss out on people who otherwise are very talented, but maybe their body is not the ideal shape and size that this person has imagined?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
not
this is the
fair,
thing
right?
is like, because like he has passed away, right? So like they're honoring him.
Uh-huh.
So there's that thing of like, well, he's not here anymore. But that was his legacy,
Correct.
that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think that's when we're like, people are saying just like, these celebrities are like kind of like hypocrites because, they're all about like, like body inclusivity
Yeah.
and, everybody should be inclusive. But then here they are, right, decked out
And
into thousands and maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars of like specific, fashion brand
yeah.
and, accessories and everything to honor a man that doesn't necessarily accepted it. Because like, Lizzo was there and Lizzo and what's her name? I forgot. She was another she was the Sports Illustrated. She was also plus size. So there was a couple of people that are plus size, and like there was this thing of like, since there's people there of color, right, of different
Yes,
sizes of
yes.
inclusivity, is it kind of like balancing out whatever legacy he was trying to like that's also a thing,
Yeah,
right?
it sounds a little funky, right? I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm going to take this example to an extreme, okay? It's like taking somebody who was a murderer, but then he also did, some good things, whatever. And now you're honoring that person and you're saying, oh, the people he murdered, their families are also at this event. It doesn't sit well,
Yeah, and I
I don't
think
know.
that's why like it's kind of like hard because there's like little minuscule details about it that is a little bit
Like it leaves a sour taste in your mouth.
uneasy
It's
because like
uneasy, yeah.
because people think of like the Met Gala like it's very prestigious,
Yes.
and also like there's this thing where like this year like influencers weren't really invited, so they went back to the classic like celebrities
Celebrity,
kind of thing
yeah.
also. But to me, I'm just like, but like that's also like, I feel like that's not a good thing because if you think about it, it's like influencer is the new celebrities. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I feel like they're like also like, we're celebrities, like we don't allow,
You're down
lower
there. You're down
lower
there.
class of like, you know what I mean? I feel like now there's also like a, in like the influencer clash celebrity kind of thing. Because like if you think about it, like influencers are the new celebrity. I mean, people they don't just like follow what they do. They follow their daily lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They follow, they literally like churn out content almost every
Almost
day.
every day, yeah.
That like you
Multiple times a
literally
day sometimes,
exactly.
yeah.
So like that you literally you're not even following a celebrity because some celebrities are like you don't know their private lives.
Correct.
But with influencers, you know where they're traveling. You literally know
You
what
have more
yeah.
insight into what's happening.
You have
yeah.
more accessibility.
Accessibility, yeah.
I think you have a different access to influencers than the thing.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, like even that access is sort of controlled, right? Because the
Well,
influencer decides what they want to put out.
yeah.
But Yeah.
It's all about marketing also. Yeah. You don't
It's
want to.
marketing.
Yeah. So
It's a different kind of marketing.
yeah. So and I think like that's why like I think also like it's so hard to think about it like now in the 2023 of just like of all the themes, right? Of all the people that you could have honored.
You chose the person that
Yeah.
doesn't stand for what is happening in the day, in the
Yeah.
present day.
Exactly. So I think
Yeah.
like that's why like sometimes when people do say that just like well it's the art, it's the fashion, it has transcend that kind of thing.
It's, so this is my take on it, right? So if you look at, maybe like 10, 15, 20 years ago, there was this thing about, oh, art is special, right? So that's why celebrities and special people or whatever. But in this decade, especially, common people are struggling with loneliness, right? So they are attracted towards people who are more like them. So that's why you see influencers sharing their day-to-day life, sharing where they're failing.
They're connecting to each
Right,
other.
so
Yeah.
that's where the connection is happening. If somebody is up there, we don't relate to them as much. We don't even look up to them as much. Right?
Yeah.
We want to look up, like we want this kind of like a horizontal connection, not a vertical. Oh, I'm looking up to somebody. Right? So there's that going on. I think, especially with the pandemic, this has become a big thing these days. That's my observation.
Yeah. And I think also like that's why like it's kind of hard. Like, nobody is ever perfect. Celebrities are not
course,
perfect also.
of course.
Like they're also people.
Yeah.
And that's why like when you see like people or like celebrities that you feel like shouldn't be participating on things that like they shouldn't be participating. You know what I mean? But then like you think about it, it's just like if I was in that shoe, you know what I mean? If I was in that level where I am invited to a very star-studded event, because celebrities also have their own celebrities.
They have their own,
right?
Exactly.
So like
human beings are human beings.
Yeah. So like they also fan
Of course.
on other celebrities. Like would I, if I was like in that opportunity, would I be strong enough to say no to an opportunity that is very prestigious? Because like I said, it's just like, I believe they said it's just like with the Met Gala, you are invited and then you have to buy your seat at the table. And I think it's like at least 10 grand.
Okay.
For like a mediocre food, they said. It's like some people
They don't
like,
go there for the food.
no, they don't go there for the food. So they go there for like the event and the the celebrities and the people that are like
I'm thinking you
performing.
might just say no because the food is bad.
I think
Because-
it's like if I have to bring my own Popeye sandwich, like I'm just like, why am I even here? Like I could have just like went somewhere. But like, and I think that's why like it's so hard because like people are fallible, right? Even celebrities, and like I said, it's just like, I mean, if somebody says like we're going to the Oscars, right? Am I be able to just be like, no, I don't want to go. Because my moral code, tells me not to go. But like knowing that like, it also like, because with celebrities, like it is important to be seen in the public eye.
But
That's their job.
I'm thinking that this actually might work the other way also. So if you've been invited to the Met Gala and then you go on the news channel saying, I'm not going to go because it's against my moral standards, that's publicity right there, right? I mean, that's like... So
But I feel like, but do you feel like if enough people say, I don't want to go,
Oh,
it
that's
kinda,
then that's not an exclusive club anymore, right?
yeah. So,
If you're one of the like 2 or 3 who are not going, that's good.
yeah.
If like 100 people are saying they're not going, okay. It's
Yeah.
like-
And I think that's why, like, I think it's also interesting, and that's why I do think, like, sometimes, like, old people are kind of have too much power and kind of like authority in a way. Because I feel like these are the things that, like, Gen Z generations or even millennials would not touch anymore.
Yeah. Of
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Because like if you think about it, it's like I'm not saying that like Anna Wintour is like old, right? But she's not also young,
Exactly.
right? So she's kind of like in the boomer generation now, and I'm getting there too. So I'm about there. So, but like it's like that's the thing. It's just like who are you with, right? Like, what kind of circle do you have, right? So, like, when you're making these kind of decisions,
Who's your target audience?
yeah,
Who's your target audience?
exactly. Because, like I said, it's just like I don't really like follow it. I see it like if I like look at articles and stuff. I don't like because I don't have cable also, so I don't follow it. So like I do see like what people are wearing and people are saying so it's kind of boring this year because it's like usually the Met Gala is like all about like wearing the most ridiculous and craziest thing kind of thing. But
Yeah.
that's because they're honoring us like that specific person. It has to be like whatever.
Like they designed or
Yeah,
whatever,
that
they
kind of
had
thing. So like the
contribution, yeah.
theme that they had, that kind of thing. So it kind of made it like a little bit more boring than usual. Some people are saying. I mean, of course, like it's never gonna be really boring because they're wearing clothes that like you would never wear at the supermarket. You know what I mean? Or even like going out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are like I said, it's just like the things that they wear are like beyond thousands and thousands of dollars, or also like cat costume.
Cat costumes.
So it's like it's also not realistic,
Of course.
right? So it's still like fashion and art in its own way, but like you said, it's just like who are really like their target audience.
Exactly,
Like I like who are they passing the baton to
Exactly. Yeah.
eventually? Because like it's
Yeah.
just like because like if you think about it, like award shows are also declining.
Yeah.
Because like people
Yeah.
like every year, like I always see this just like the Oscars are like the
But they're
audience
not
are
as
declining.
they're not as exciting as they used to
Yeah,
be.
they're not as prestigious as
As
they
they're
used to be.
prestigious, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like before, like like you watch the Oscars, the TV awards
Right.
and all that stuff. But then like now that you think about it, it's like a lot of the award shows are like not even.
They're going down.
Yeah, they're going downhill. So,
Yeah.
but I think it is definitely like an interesting conversation. I think like either way, like I think it's also. I'm not gonna say like I'm not entertained by it, because it's like a lifestyle.
Obviously, we're talking here.
Yeah,
So
I think like it's also because like it's a lifestyle we do not understand. It's kind of like so out of reach kind of thing.
exactly,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying before, right? I mean, like, especially in this day and age, we want to be able to have access to people who are more like us.
Yeah.
And these guys are more like, I don't know which planet did they come from.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah.
so one hot topic to another hot topic. We're gonna
Okay.
read our Am I the Ahole today.
yes,
So this
yes.
is more like a work situation type of
Okay.
thing, and I feel like everybody can relate to this.
Okay.
So
Bring it on. Yeah.
So I, 28 female, am single. I don't have kids and live alone. I also do not work overtime or do anything beyond my work. Also, I am not in the US. First, let me explain what my work is like. We are an internal auditing company. I work in the logistics auditing division. What that means is that when a company hires us, mostly to see how good their policies are, we shadow their workers to see where efficiency can be increased. Sometimes that means working night shift, delivery, warehouse, manufacturing, etc. We are lucky that we have an awesome manager and team leader. Once we divide the tasks, you can do them whenever as long as your report is handed when it should be. Work from home, from the office at 3 a.m., less than 40 hours, it doesn't matter. For the 6 years I have been on this team, another female coworker, 30, has been asking and doing her absolute best to work the least amount possible. First, she is either always pregnant and not able to shadow anyone, but the office workers, she is on maternity leave 4 months on her yearly vacation a month, or conveniently sick when it is time for some heavy-duty work. She sends in a doctor's notice, and we have unlimited PTO as long as you have a doctor's notice.
Sure.
I mean, this is not in the US,
Yeah,
obviously, because unlimited PTO.
Correct.
It's like, where is this place from?
Correct.
Yeah, and when she is in the office, she is dumping her work on others. She uses her kids as an excuse all the time. Well, usually, the other team members pick up her slack. I refuse to do so. This time, we are auditing a larger company, so all hands on deck. And for the first time ever, she is neither pregnant nor on maternity leave, and she just got back from her yearly leave. The company we are auditing is in another city, so the members who will have to go will be staying there for 3 weeks. This time, it is my turn to stay in the office, well, my home to be honest, and do the data organization analysis.
Yeah.
She asked me to switch with her. Apparently, she can't leave her 5 kids alone with her husband. And there's a lot of kids. Not that I'm not judging.
but
That is a
it
lot of kids to
It is a
leave
lot
with your
of kids.
husband.
Yes.
I said no. She tried to guilt trip me by saying that she would have to pay for childcare, which is more than what she would get paid for the whole month, and that I don't have any responsibilities like her. I told her, well, they are not my kids, so I don't see how that is my problem.
Right.
Now she's pouting like a kid. And some coworkers are saying that I don't know how hardworking moms have it and that I should be more compassionate.
Yeah. Yes, you should be more compassionate, but that doesn't mean that you be the doormat, right?
That you should be taken advantage
Yes,
of.
I agree.
I mean, like we've all had that coworker.
Yeah, I mean, see, the way I look at it as at work is that you are exchanging, like if you're employed, you're exchanging your time for money. Okay, that's it. Like that's where it should stop. Because if you try to make, accommodations like this, yeah, it's like you can be genuine, you can be compassionate, you can be all of that, and still be professional. But then you have to hold on to your boundaries.
Yeah.
I think this.
I think boundaries definitely important. And I
Yeah.
think also like if you know what I mean, like if you can't do the basics of your job, right? Because like it's not like it seems like she's not new.
Yeah, she's
Right?
been there a while.
She's been
yeah.
there for a while. So you know the duties of your job. That means
Right.
like you're gonna have to travel sometimes. So if you can't if you can't travel for your job, unfortunately you either have to give
Like,
it up
you
or
have to make that arrangement with the management. Right? So you can go to the manager and say, hey, my life situation has changed. Now I have more responsibilities at home. I cannot travel. Put it on the record so that the whole team knows, so that this kind of negotiation at the last minute does not happen. That's how I would take it. Right? And if that means that you're no longer suitable for this job, or you have a different role in the company, or you have to go to a different company, okay, so be it.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. I think it's just hard because like I don't have children myself. And it's just like when I was single, like I have a husband, but like I think like I'm not saying that like people who have children should have special accommodations, right? Because it is hard for them because like summers and holidays
Yeah,
are the times
yeah,
that they see their children.
course.
But I do feel like sometimes I feel slighted because like if I put in a notice, especially on holidays,
Yeah.
I kind of get shuffled down, right? Because like it's one of those things where you don't have children, but I'm somebody else's child.
Yes,
Like I have parents that wants to see me.
of course.
You know what I mean? Like I may not have
course.
children of my own,
Yeah, yeah.
but like I'm somebody's kid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see my parents,
Of course.
kind of thing, right? So, and like I said, it's just like I have friends that have kids. My sister, like I love my nephews.
Yeah.
And I do think like sometimes they do try to pull more than they should. And it's like you get stuck on that, like like, oh, my kid is sick, can you like take this shift kind of thing. And sometimes I'm more than happy to do it, but then sometimes I feel like when somebody asks you a favor, they can either say yes or no.
You have the right to say no also,
Yeah.
right? Because you're being asked. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people forget that it's a favor. So like when you say no, they take it so personal.
Yeah, I mean, also this person said they're not in the US, so I don't know how the cultural norms are there in the place that they are. But having said that, there's also, if I'm going to ask you a favor, then I need to have that kind of relationship with you. I cannot guilt trip you into favoring me, right? Because it's not going to last. Okay, maybe you may say yes this time, but the next time, even when I approach you, you'll walk away. Right? That's just basic human nature.
Yeah.
So if this other lady had built trust with the person who wrote the note, then maybe situation might have been different, but she's not. So
Yeah, I think it's
she's
also
not invested anything into the relationship. So
yeah,
it's
and
like-
it's not just that. I do feel like some people are very like entitled on your time. And I feel like I have like experiences on like other jobs.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, like I said, it's just like they feel like, oh well, you'll get another day off, or like I'm just switching another day with you, and I'm just like, well, I have that day off for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have a life.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think like I remember like at one time I told like one of my retail jobs that like I can't work on Sundays, you know, and because I have Sundays off, a lot of people
So ask to
ask
switch.
me to like switch on Sundays,
Yeah.
and I'm like, there's a reason why I have Sundays off, and if
Yes.
management has said you're allowed to have Sundays off, then obviously they have the coverage for it.
Correct.
Obviously, so like you need to talk.
You need to talk to the manager.
Yeah, you need
That's
to.
his job.
And also, like
or her
I
job.
hate it when people, like I said, it's just like take it personal on you,
Yeah.
and then now now you're
Now
creating.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you're creating more of a toxic environment. You know what I mean?
It's
Because
no longer
then,
pleasant. Yeah.
yeah, now you're resenting me
Correct.
for a choice that I have a choice,
Correct.
right? And then now I'm resenting you, right?
For not respecting my
Yeah,
choice.
for not respecting my boundaries.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And making me feel guilty for something that I have
Yeah.
no control over. Like who are you to like hijack my life
Exactly.
and my days off? You know what I mean? Or like, especially like I'm not a work from home kind of person. My husband loves it, and I understand why,
Yeah.
because he's introverted and he's a little bit asocial. And also like he gets to like watch his TV in the background, that kind of thing, or listen to his music that he can't do at work. So like if somebody is like asking, like especially like if, because she didn't tell us like how many times she has to like, you know what I mean, also work, because if they do travel, maybe she has travel enough
Yes.
that and also like traveling is very taxing,
Of course. Of course.
especially for work, because people always just like, oh, you travel for work, and it's like it's not the same.
It's no. It's. I mean, in some sense, it might be easier because the arrangements are made for you in terms of where you're staying and food and whatnot, or at least like it's covered in that
Yeah.
way. But at the same time, you're there for work. That means
Yeah.
that you're away from family, you're away from things you like doing. It's like
Yeah. Work is still work. It doesn't matter like what location you're in. It's like
Correct.
when my husband went to New Orleans, like he was so annoyed because like they went to get burgers.
yeah,
And they're like, why are you getting burgers in New Orleans? But that
Right.
was the plan that they made already.
correct.
And I'm like, you can get burgers literally anywhere.
Anywhere,
Why are you not
yes.
getting Cajun food and, like, you know what I mean? So that's why, like, I want to, because I've been to New Orleans with my friends, and it's like, I told him, it's like, we got to go, because, like, you never got a chance to eat what you
Like
wanted to eat because
authentic,
he had to go
yeah.
with his coworkers,
Right.
that kind of thing. And I think, like I said, it's just like, I feel like sometimes, like, your coworkers, I mean, because, like, you spend so much time with them, but you're also, like, not close enough. I mean, depending on,
I know. It's,
right? It's like
a
you,
little-
it's like neighbors that you see all the time,
yeah.
right?
You know a little bit about them, okay?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's
It's still your
still
coworkers.
coworkers. Yeah.
Unless you're like, actually like close to them and you go out with them for like happy hour and stuff.
Right.
That's like a different thing.
But even then, right? So I'll tell you about in recent months. There've been so many tech layoffs, right? People have lost their jobs and stuff like that. So people I used to work with, like we had really great relationships. But now I'm not working there anymore. But there's no connection now. Right?
Yeah.
There's only like a handful of people who reach out and say, okay, check in and whatnot. But that's the nature of work. Right?
Yeah.
That's the nature of work. It's like
But I think also that's just the nature of like any kind of relationship, because it's a matter of convenience.
yeah,
And also it's a matter of proximity.
yes,
That's why like your friends in high school are your friends in high school, and then your friends in college are your friends in college.
Correct.
Because like I've read a study, like I've seen a study where like like how many hours like do you need to invest to go from like like
Oh yeah.
like it's like 50 hours, 70 hours.
Correct.
Like I think to be friends, like the first level of friends, you spend 170
Wow.
hours together.
Okay. But also, it's not 170 hours in an office.
Office.
Yeah. That doesn't count.
Because you have to work. It's
Yeah.
not like hey,
Yeah.
like what's happening? You know what I mean? Like
It's not hanging out. Right?
Yeah.
It's the hanging out where you're spending time together without.
you actually know each other's lives, right?
Or like you're spending time without an agenda. Right? That's
Right.
where the friendships form.
Yeah.
Like if you think back about your closest friends, it's the people that you have just hung out with no agenda. Like when we were growing up, the kids from school, we just hang out. Like we just,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, the last
we're
thing you're going to
playing
do is
together.
talk about school
Exactly.
after, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that, like, I mean, some people do, but like, you don't talk about work when you're hanging out with each other. You talk about each other's lives and
Exactly.
your kids and,
Yeah.
you know, like, what do you guys
Things
like to
that
do?
matter to you.
Yeah. Or like your hobbies and stuff.
But with work people, even if you're meeting them outside of work, you end up talking
Talking
about
about
work.
work.
You know, like,
That's how everything's doing. So, but we are going to wrap up our show
Yes.
today. And if you guys have any questions or you want to follow us in our social media, in hindsight, we are on Instagram, we are on YouTube, and we are also on TikTok. And if you'd like to have any advice or any ideas that you want to send to us, just send us through our email. And for now, we will see you guys next week.